Hey YouTube, what's chill? It's your old pal Fluff Shit back here with another video. And a couple of things from today. There's some good news and some tragically awful news. The good news is that this is the anniversary of the date in 1920, exactly 100 years ago, when women got the right to vote, fought for it hard, and finally were able to get it. So that's an incredibly momentous occasion, and I don't want to take away from that at all. That is amazing, but at the same time, a tragedy has occurred in our country again. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, luckily Jacob Blake is okay, but I heard he might be paralyzed from the waist down. Um, Still an awful, awful thing to do. NBA teams canceling their games. Same with the WNBA and certain MLB teams, which is great. I think great that the players are protesting. Um, uh, and there were protesters who were there were people protesting Jacob Blake's death in Kenosha who were shot at by a delinquent 17-year-old. Just a terrible, terrible. Just a, I'll bet it was a racially motivated attack. Just a terrible, terrible thing. Trump is feeding these people. I'm telling you, I see Trump supporters on YouTube, and yes, I respect other opinions. I have a great friend on YouTube, Real News Network, a very, very smart guy who has a great channel. You know, he's a Trump supporter, but I can respect his opinion, but I gotta tell you, Trump is not going to fight for anyone's interest except for his own and his family's. You see, I mean, innocent black people are getting shot in the streets, and if not killed, they're getting paralyzed from the waist down. And then people are getting shot in the protests after that. Don't you just love how at the Republican convention they talk about all these values like integrity, honesty, wanting to protect other people, um, all this stuff and none of it applies to Trump. He's letting people die. He's let 173,000 people die of coronavirus, probably more at this point. He's let he ignores police brutality entirely. He does not care about the black community or the brown community. He does not care. Um, it's saddening, frankly, to see what's happening to the country at this point. You know, we need him out. We need Trump out of office. If Trump stays in office, the damage from 4 more years of this kind of neglect, more than neglect, I would say, maliciously charged hatred from the president will result in more people dying. And this extends to the issue of gun violence too, and all that. You say, oh, it couldn't happen in my community until it does happen in your community. It's gonna. How many more? How, how many more innocent black people getting killed or paralyzed is it going to take for us to finally stand up to Trump and say enough is enough? How many children in cages at the border is it going to take for us to finally stand up to Trump and say enough is enough? How many school shootings is it going to take for us to finally stand up to Trump and say enough is enough? You let me know, America. You let me know, and I'll be listening. I'll be listening come November 3rd. You better have the right answer.